do I have anything left here? I have a default VPC. I'm in to the North Virginia. Default VPC, one subnet, one route table, one internet gateway. So these all are the default one. And security group, network ACL. With every VPC, there will be one network ACL. So nothing here. See, if you left with the NAT gateway, or if you left with the internet gateway, because the public IP address will get assigned to this, so it will get charged. If you create VPC, subnet, route table, network ACL, security group, nothing will happen. But the moment you created gateways, term like a gateway, then something is reserved for you and it will get charged. Okay, and also I will suggest you keep have eyes on your billing. Okay, billing part. Now see here. So if you look at here, see for me it's 17 rupees. So last month actually I was supposed to show you that. So last month what happened when we started in July. Okay, can you see I got some like 56 or 60 rupees charge for our entire stuff, because whatever I do is I just configure, and after that I will just remove it, delete it. So I got some 60 rupees charge. So what will happen is on every first day of month, first they will send you some notification on the email, and after that they will automatically they will it will deduct from your credit card which what information you already enter into your account. So keep have your eyes on billing part. Don't left anything. Okay, and keep make it minimum. So you cannot make it zero. Okay, why? Because if you do VPC lab or internet gateway, so some charges will be there. So don't cross it to 100 or something. So but it will. This is the minimum charge which they will charge. So it's fine, right? So we are using their service, so we should there should be some charges. So in the VPC part, okay. So now you guys okay know about in the dashboard of the VPC how many VPC, subnet, routing table, internet gateway. These all are related to each other. Then you know about the NAT gateways. Okay, NAT gateway is nothing but this one, network ACL, security group. So these are enough. So whatever information here, so VPN. Okay, so now Elastic IP, you know, if you purchase any, if you reserve any Elastic IP for the NAT gateways, it will be showing here. Okay, then site-to-site VPN. If you have your infrastructure office connected to your what is called AWS cloud, then it will be site-to-site VPN. Okay, if you have any virtual private gateway, it will let you know that. And if you have any customer gateway, it is this all three are related to the site-to-site VPN only. So you all aware about this. But one more thing which is very important here, which is transit gateway. Okay, transit gateway. This was the key, I can say, because in AWS, see VPN and direct connect, we know that it is used to connect your office to the AWS cloud. But transit gateway is something within AWS. You have multiple regions. See, you have multiple regions. Okay, you have multiple VPCs. They are like a branch offices in different countries. How you are going to connect them? So that will happen by using the transit gateway. Okay, if you don't do if you have completed this lab transit gateway, well and good. If you haven't, then I would suggest you watch that video again. Okay, one or two times if you don't understand, and follow the steps and do the lab. Okay, transit gateway is to connect your VPCs to VPCs. Okay, by using, so it's a play of the routing. Okay, you need to play around the routing table, and you need to play you need to create one transit gateway in that it will be intermediator, and you need to connect, you need to enter all the your you need to attach all your VPCs to that transit gateway, and then after that the routing table play will be there. So if you did that lab once, then do it after some time also. Like it will, otherwise you will get forget. Or prepare your own document. Take the screenshots how to do that, and prepare your own documents. So it will help you a lot in the future. Okay. So that's one thing. So let's move back to the EC2. So I'm here in the EC2. Okay. So while doing VPC lab, okay. So every day after creating VPC routing table, public subnet, private subnet, and transit gateway testing, VPC testing. So we're supposed to come here every day, right? We create instances, public instance, private instance, right? Linux, Windows, and like this snapshot and AMI, this we already covered, and like we will touch it again once again later. And the network security group, now we clearly aware about this. Elastic IPs, this is nothing but reserve. Key pairs, this is also required to open any instance. Now load balancing is one of important chapter. Load balancing and auto scaling. Okay, so before moving to load balancing, let me show you something here. Okay, so now load balancing. What is load balancing? So let's say in your offices, your this is your infrastructure office, and have many users. Okay, let's say you have thousands of users sitting in the office. Okay, and they all are connected to the core switches. Okay, on top of that there will be firewall. On top of that there will be the router, and on top of that there will be internet. So this is what a traditional or network diagram should be. Internet, router, then firewall, then after firewall core switches, and the all rest of the switches will connect to these switches. Okay, so all the users will get important role of the servers. Okay, so the servers, why the servers use in the network? Okay, so servers can be Active Directory server. Okay, so when you 1,000 users are there, so every user will have their own username. Every user will have their own email address to address them, right? Their account number will be different, and their identity will be different. So Active Directory is required. Similarly, every user is required a IP address. So DHCP server will be there. Then when you do a google.com is nothing but an IP address. So to we cannot remember the IP address. So that's why so name to IP conversion, there is service called DNS. So DNS servers will be there, right? Similarly, Active Directory, DHCP, DNS. So these are, and then similarly NTP, logging servers will be there. Logging means your all devices, they will share some logs. They will generate some logs. So security, from the security point of view, required a logs. What happened? Who? What? When? AAA authentication. This is called AAA. Who? When? What? If suppose one of the employees they did something sometime, so how you're going to detect that? So by using the AAA server logs and all, you will see who was that person, who logged in, what time, and what he did. So these all are related to the security. These all are required. So this is all about the servers in infrastructure. Okay, these are the basic servers which required to run any organization. Apart from the servers, you will have a storage. Okay, so you will have shared drives. Okay, so all the users, they will let's say you have a civil um, design company. So all the user, he will design here in the system, but he will store into this server. Okay, so there will be a shared drive will be there. Okay, shared location, so where all the data. Similarly, some storage will be there. Okay, storage, your all your company's all the data will be stored here. Okay, so these are all the storage, database, servers, share drives, and these all are the basic stuff to run any organization. If you are having infrastructure, then you need to have these are the minimums. You need an internet connection. If you have any branch office connected, then you need to have a MPLS connection. Okay, so you can connect your other offices into another cities. So like this, you can have MPLS or some other services by using the ISP, and you can connect to your branch offices. So this branch office user, they will also share the data into, they will store design into the same server. So now, apart from this, every organization, they will have some applications. What is mean by application? So application is nothing but a combination of port and some logs. So the example will be, every user in your organization, they want some like they want time and attendance, right? This is also one of the basic step, time and attendance. There will be HR portals in every organization. So where any announcement from the HR or any company policies, so those all steps you will see there. So this is our every day whenever user come, so they will come and they will defaultly their browser will connect to this guy, this server, and they can enter. They will get some company information and all. So this will be actually a URL. Okay, this is called a common URL. And URL means actually it will be hosted on the server. Server will have some IP address. Well, let's say some 192 dot. This will be your server. Some IP address 192.168.10.10. This is a server. But users cannot understand the IP address. So what they do, let's say they will give some name called HTTP HR portal.com dot xyz.com. xyz.com means maybe it's your organization DNS. So this is called a DNS. What is DNS? I converting IP to name. This is called a DNS. So it can be happen on the servers. Okay. So this is what happens. So what will happen? All the users, they will connect to this URL and they will do some steps. So now listen very carefully. So now let's say you have one server here for the time and attendance, and every user they are trying to access this server at the same time. Let's say today is the last day to submit some your documents, some tax related information. So every user is trying to access this server. Every user is at the same time they're trying from internal and from your branch offices. Okay, and there are some users, they are on the VPN site from the internet. So they are sitting at home, from there also they are trying to access this server. So like this, the server is, let's say it has a capacity to take 100 connection, but this time the server took 500 connection. So what will happen? The CPU utilization of the server will get high, and every end user will feel a slowness. Hey, server is very slow, very slow, very slow. Why? Because this is going to die. We don't have that capacity to handle this much traffic. Because in the normal days, because every user will come and their free time, they will come here and they will enter something. But what happened here is, at the same time, all the 1,000 users are trying to access the server. So the server will get die. What is the solution? So the solution is, every organization, what they do, they will use a load balancer. Okay, so there is something called technology, separate job role for the load balancer also. So load balancer, what load balancer will do is actually the actual URL. When I say a URL means your company portal, HR HR portal.com, and let's say the actual IP addresses are here: 192.168. Uh, 10.1, and another IP server will be 192.168.10.2. So actually they will first, and load balancer will do by using the load balancing method. It will share the load. Let's say this guy, please handle this. When the same time when this server come, with this user comes, so load balancer will send traffic to this guy. So like this, the load will get shared. And 250 packets will come. So like this, they will servers also. Okay, they will maintain 4 servers to sharing methods, which load balancer does. Okay, so this is about the infrastructure. Okay, so every organization, they use separate, like similarly we have firewalls, right? In the firewalls we have multiple options like the Cisco ASA, Palo Alto, Checkpoint, Juniper. So it depends on organization which one they want. So they need to hire that specialist, and they will take care of this. Similarly, in the switches also, it doesn't mean that Cisco only, you can use HP switches, you can use Juniper switches. So it is again up to you. Similarly, in the load balancer also there are multiple options. So companies, they will buy those load balancer to operate this particular system. So this is a load balancing is a technology. Okay, it is a technology to balance the load, to access, to share the load. You understand, right? Let's say for example the Amazon. So in the Amazon, when you order something, okay, so thousands of, you don't know how many users are going to handle that, how many number of users are going to access that server. So you cannot predict the load. So by using the load balancing method, you can increase number of servers to share the load. Okay, so this is all about the infrastructure load balancing. Okay, this is called a load balancing technology. Load balancing. Okay, so now this is all about the infrastructure. So any questions here? Because before showing you the load balancer of AWS, I had to explain you what the load balancing in the infrastructure. Any questions here?
I think my one question. When you say the load, the traffic is getting divided. So is it pre-configured or the system does it dynamically based on the usage of the application?
Okay, perfect. So that's a good question. So what will happen is, so in the load balancer, there are some load balancing technology, load balancing methods are there. Load balancing methods. like a round robin. Round robin is one of the mostly common used method. So what it will do, if suppose it will see, the load balancer will see you have a 4 servers, okay, and if you receive 4 packets, the first packet will be here, second packet will be here, third will be here, fourth will be here, and the next fifth packet will be again to this server. So like this it will be, it is called a round robin method. Okay, round robin. Similarly, one more famous method is least connection. Okay, least connection. So in this, what will happen is, let's say you have 4 servers. So and what will happen? Right now this server is like it is handling 5 packets. This server is handling 3 packets. It is handling 2 packets, and it is handling 2 packets, 1 packet. So next connection will come. So load balancer will know that, okay, this guy is already handling this. So let's give a packet to him because he is the least connection. So like this, these methods are inbuilt into the load balancer. You don't need to do anything. You just need to select which load balancing method you want. Okay. So load balancers, they does 2 things. One is using the load balancer. Also, they will take care of the health check of the servers. If suppose out of these 4 servers, out of these 4 servers, these 2 servers went down. Let's say these 2 servers went down. So there will be no effect on this URL. It will be keep running, because now what is happen, out of 4 pool, so still 2 are active, right? So still these guys will take connections. Okay. So this is what the load balancing is. So the organization in your infrastructure, you need this product to take care of the load balance. You need specialist of this guy, this load balancer, to maintain this. Okay, and they will use a load balancer. But now in Amazon, what they do, the same thing, same concept. So in the same concept, they use how in the cloud. Okay, now let's move back to here. We are into Amazon. Okay, so and here you will have a, let's say you are into North Virginia. Okay, region. This is your region, and in this region you have load balancer. Let's say one load balance. This is your availability zone 1 and 2. You have 2 availability zone. Let's say this is your availability zone A, and this is your availability zone B. Okay. So what you can do is, you can create 2 servers. Okay, you can create 2 servers. One server in this availability zone, one instance, or I can say one public server in this availability zone, and one server here in this availability zone. Okay, and on top of that, you can use a ELB. ELB is nothing but Amazon load balancing service. Okay, you can use ELB here. Elastic load balancing. And what you can do, you can, and both server are having the same application. So you need to bind this server to this ELB. And before ELB, there is something called target group. So there is one option in the load balancer, target group. So in the target group, what they do is, what we do is, both the servers, we will this server, and another traffic will go to this server. So like this, You no need of any another vendor. So Amazon is saying, please use our ELB to serve your servers. Isn't it cost effective? Do you need any external guy here? No. They are saying, if anyone who is our AWS admin, he can take care of the ELB. The same person can take care of the VPC. Same person can build the servers. Same person is doing the monitoring. सलमान में क्या बोलते, जॉब जा रहे नहीं जा रहे?
सीख ले रहे नई चीज, जॉब मिल जा रही है अपने को.
So this is what is happening. So now, if your infrastructure, now tell me one thing. How many of you work on the load balancer? Anyone? Like because in our organization, so we are bind to our own technology. If security guy like Salman is from the SAP, so he is expert of that. Okay. Nazim is a network guy, so he is expert in the routers, switches, and firewalls. He don't know the load balance. Even Salman, maybe he work or not, I don't know. Have you worked on any load balancer before?
No.
No, right?
Doesn't touch that.
Yes, exactly. So in infrastructure, we are having our specific roles. Okay, but here in Amazon, you are a network guy. You are a security guy. You are a monitoring guy. You are a load balancer guy, and you can become also app guy also. You can, if you know the code, just put the code into instance and your server is ready. So now, if you haven't built any public server or web server, then today is the time. Today I'm going to show you how to build a web server and how to host into the Amazon, and you will access that. Okay, what is a web server? Let's say, for example, I'm in the Google. Okay, let's say when I hit Google, so Google, I got this page. Okay, and when I go here, actually the Google is nothing but, if you look at here, if I go to the CMD, okay, CMD, and if I ping google.com. Can you see what is the IP address? So Salman bhai, can you tell me, is it a private IP address or public IP address?
This is public basically.
Obviously. So private means only 10, 192 and 172. Rest everything is public. So can you see actually when I did a browser, so actually I am connecting to one of the server. So this IP address is bind to that server 142. But human mind cannot remember the number. That's why by using the DNS service, we give that google.com. See, everyone know about google.com. Okay, it's very simple to remember. But if there was no, if you don't use the DNS service, so you need to tell that, okay, can you please log into 142.240.196.46? How difficult it is. So DNS we use. So there is another option, NS lookup. NS lookup. I will, if I say google.com, if you want to see google.com, if you want to see what IP address is bind to this, can you see? To the google.com, this is the IP address. This is the IPv6, which is mapped, and this is the IPv4, which is mapped. Two addresses are mapped. For you, it will be some another IP address. Why? Because there is a load balancer behind that. Okay. So the moral of the story is, so when you browse something, actually it is hosted on some service. See, this is called port 443, HTTPS. And HTTP means port 80. Port HTTPS is more secure, HTTP is less secure. Okay, so you browse that particular application which is running on that server on this particular port. Okay, so now what we will do is, we will create two instances. One in this this availability zone means it's a separate data center. It is a different office. This is also different office. You kept both servers into different offices. Okay, and you know the advantage of load balancer is, if suppose you have two servers and one server went down, let's say entire availability zone went down, which will never happen. But if it is down, but still your service will be there. Why? Because this is physically in another server, another data center. Okay, so our objective is today, what we are going to do is we are going to create, and it's very simple. Don't think that it is something very tough or something, but it's very simple. So now, if I go back to the load balancers, okay, so I'm here right now. I don't have anything here in the dashboard. Okay, and no instances, nothing is going here. And see, if you want, you can create again your own VPC. You can create routing table and do this lab, or just if you already did a practice, then no need to create the VPC again, because now you understand, right? So you can use the default VPC. They already have a subnet, they already have routing table, they already have internet gateway. If you have time, then please do that and do this lab. Otherwise, just use the default one what Amazon has. Okay, so now load balance. Okay, so if you go to the load balancer, okay, so they will ask you if you want to create the load balancer. See, I'm not creating now, I'm just telling you what do you want: application load balancer, network load balancer, or gateway load balancer. What do you want? Okay, let's say I want application HTTP and HTTP load balancer. So they will tell you to configure load balancer, provide name, select scheme specific listeners and all. So now they are telling you the name. Let's say test 123. Okay, what do you want? Internet facing or internal? Obviously, we want internet facing to test this. And listener, your load balancer, actually your backend servers are running on which server, which port? Is it HTTP or HTTPS? So you have to specify that. Then in which availability zone you want. Let's say your one server is in this availability zone and this server, another server is in this availability zone. So you have to choose that availability zone. Okay, and then if some more options are there, but I'm canceling it. Before that, you need to create a target group. You need to create target group and then associate that target group to the load balancer. Okay, see here there is no target group right now. If I go and create, so it will ask you what you want, basic configuration. Choose instance, support load balancing to instance within specific VPC. So to create the target group, I need a servers, right? So I cannot configure the load balancer without instances. So the first thing is first, the you need to create, the first step is target group, then load balancer. And to create the target group, you need two instances, minimum two instances to test this lab. So we need to go and create the instances first. Okay, two web servers we will create. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. I will bring my mobile because there is a small script we need to write. I will tell you now. 1 second. Just give me. Uh, 1 second. Let me stop my sharing and I will share it back. Okay. So what you need to do generally in Microsoft Server, you need to create IIS service. Okay. Then you need to create. You need a HTML page to put into that IIS service, and it will be very difficult. Okay, and you need to learn HTML. You need to learn like many things there. But we are not a developer. Okay, but we want some sort of testing. Okay, so that we can understand the service. Okay, so let me do one thing. So we will use what is called we'll use Linux box, okay, and without any development, we can test. I have a small script. I will share you that. So I'm sharing my screen. Guys, you with me or sleeping?
Still your screen is not shared. I can't see your screen.
Now.
Now it's okay. Okay. Good.
And you can still see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Beautiful.
perfect. But I want to say, भाई वीडियो पे आने से कोरोना वायरस नहीं आता, आप उससे भी डर रहे क्या? I know you are following social distance, but Zoom distance भी follow कर रहे हैं आप तो.
Right, right. दूर रहो, खुश रहो.
Okay, so let's go. Okay, fine. So what we need to do is you need to create two web servers. Okay, so web server means what you want to you need to create. So you follow the same what I'm following. So while choosing Amazon AMI, just choose Amazon Linux server. Okay, Amazon Linux server. So it's a 64-bit. Select it. Okay, I did not choose Microsoft. I choose Amazon Linux server. Okay, next, just select T2 micro. No problem. Okay, now here, this is very important. So availability zone. So I am choosing 1A. My first server will be in this availability zone. Okay, and I want a public IP address on that. Okay, fine. So now on down, just go down. Just go down in the last. Here is something advanced details. So here you need to add the script. Actually, this script, what it is doing, you need to actually this is a Linux. You need to make up the server, and then you need to enable some services, HTTP service, and do some create some HTTP page and all. So you no need to do that. Just use this. I found this script, small script on the internet. So now you can see this. So what it is saying, hash hyphen bin bash, then yom. So you need to enable HTTP B and echo. So for this server, I'm saying this is Nadeem servers. Okay, Nadeem server, and I open service HTTP start and check config HTTP on. See, actually, I'm not a coder. I'm not a I'm not writing any script. I'm not a Linux guy. But this is something I found somewhere. It's very simple. You no need to do other steps. Just follow this. So how I'm going to test this server? So when I hit this server in the browser, I should get this page. This is Nadeem server. Okay, and another server will make it Salman server. So we will have a two different server, and we will do the load balancing among them. Okay, so are you ready? Yes, no, भाई तो ठंडा response रहा तो बहुत मुश्किल है.
Yes, Manimal,
Okay, perfect.
load balancing.
Okay, so this is first I'm creating this Nadeem server. So where I need to put this? So here, when so far we just select availability zone, subnet, and all, but now in the last you need to put this. Okay, so now add storage. The rest all the steps are same. Add storage, that's fine. Add tags. So here name I will say Nadeem's server. Okay, security group. So security group is fine. Okay, here we need to have some steps. So create new security group. Let's say I'm creating my security group. So I want SSH. Okay. Also, I want HTTP and HTTPS to the HTTP at least HTTP, and I want to open it to the world, because whatever and I will put anywhere. So what will happen when this server come up? You guys can also browse in your browser. So you will also get the same page what I'm going to see. So what I'm saying here, anywhere, or I can say just custom and make it 0. And for the SSH, I will just put my IP address. So you understand what I'm doing? To manage this server SSH, I kept my IP address, but the service which going to run on that server HTTP, so that I kept open for the world, to the world. Okay, so now review, launch, and here Linux key. So let me see if I have a Linux key. Do I have a, no, I don't have. So let me create the new one. So I will say create new one, Linux web key. Okay, Linux web key, download, launch instance. Okay, so our instance will get ready in few minutes. Till that time, let's go and create another instance. So I'm going to create another instance with the same steps. I'm using Amazon Linux. Okay, Amazon Linux AM. So I'm just selecting next. Okay, T2 micro. Okay, configure instance. Okay, now here very important. Okay, VPC is fine, but here in availability zone, you need to take 1B, because your first server in 1A availability zone. See, if you use two server in the same office, then there is no mean of load balancing, because if your one region, if one data center went down, so still you will not. So the objective of this load balancing is, if one availability zone went down, you should have access to the from another availability zone. So choose 1B. For my previous server, I use 1A data center. This is 1B. Now public should be enabled. Now here, and I'm going to use this script. And here, see, there I use, this is Nadim servers, right? So here I'm going to say this is Salman. Okay, this is the Salman servers. Okay, so now add storage. Next, tag. So I will say okay, and security group. Okay, so HTTP, SSH. Okay, for these, okay, let it be. Okay, no, because right now I will use the my IP only, but HTTP I will open for the world. HTTP 0.0.0 to world. Okay, review, launch, and I can use the same key pair which I use, Linux public. What is that? Linux web key. Because both server I can use the same key, no problem. Huh. Now my second server is going to be ready. So let's move back to the instance. Okay, and just have a look what status here. The first server, it is still initializing. So if I look at Nadim server, so I got some public IP address 34.c, because we are not, nothing to do with the private IP address, because we are not using. So we want to access this from the public. So if I go here and try to ping from my laptop, so still it is not pinging. Okay, but you need to open the, see, remember, you don't have security group, you did not allow ICMP to do that. So we don't want this all testing ICMP and all. let's this server come up. Now see here, 2 by 2 check is done. Okay, so I have a public IP address here. Okay, so what I'm going to, even I don't no need to log into that server. What I will do, I will just say HTTP on the browser. I will put that IP address. HTTP remember general public number of Apache server after being installed. It means this this is a page use test proper. Okay, let me do one thing. Within server, so let me use the DNS. See, the beauty of this one is you will have a public DNS as well. Can you see public IP for DNS? I can copy this. Let me try this. Test page. If you are the website admin, you may add content. Oh shit. I forget one thing. Forget one thing here. Ah, I need to use .html. Mm, see, where www.html I forget that. So if you give me 1 minute, if you are still available, so let me remove this and create one, because I don't know how to modify that because I'm not a Linux guy. But by using that script, we can. What will happen is when this page comes, so I can get that page directly. So I missed. That's why the web page is not coming. Okay. So what I will do, see, now both server came, but there is no use right now. I'm going to terminate them. Sorry for that. Okay, both are getting terminated. Till that time, I will quickly go and launch the instance. Guys, I know like there are some labs will be lengthy, but this is what the Amazon, the AWS is. Some labs are very simple. Some labs are like conceptual. Some labs are lengthy with the practical. Okay, so okay, 1A enable. Okay, now here this time I will add this. So this is what the problem was. So this is again, I will say Nazim servers only. This HTML, I was forget this one. That's why that page was not coming. Add storage, add tag. Let me say server one. Security group, I can use that existing one. Nazim's SC, I can use. Visual launch. And I can use that key pair. See how simple, how quickly I'm preparing that because everything is there. Now my first server one instance is getting ready. If you go here, yeah, server one. So quickly I will create another server by using the same parameter. Okay, availability zone I will select B. Okay, enable, and here I will change here names. Okay, the rest everything is same. add tag, let's say server 2. Security group, I can use the existing one which I just created. Review, launch, and keep where I can use the same which I created. Ah, if I go back, instance, so now my two instances are getting terminated. Let me remove this. And this. Okay, now see, these two are getting down and these two servers are coming up. Okay, so if I go here, public HTTP, so let this server come up. So to do this lab, you no need to like log in to connect to the server, get into the server by using the password key and all, because in the script itself you created a small page and you are saying this is what it has to be. So you just need a public IP address and just use that public IP address into browsing. That's it. So just hold on for 1 minute. Once it is come as a 2x2 check, so we will be. So anyone has any idea with the HTML page or something? HTML पता है किसी को?
HTML scripting.
हाँ हाँ.
uh,
HTML पे ये जो वेब पेज हम देखते हैं ये this let's say this is a HTML है, Java है, so इस पे use करते हैं. So in college, I think in engineering we can get
in general, what is HTML and all?
generally.
Generally मालूम है. API.
So now, okay, I think my server one came. So if I take this IP address, okay, I'm going here, HTTP. So yeah, whatever. You are free to use image below. Okay, I can't. Actually, I'm reaching to the server. That's why this Apache page is coming. Using CAD also, why I'm not. If it didn't came, then we'll stop here and we will do this lab again tomorrow, because I think I need to do some more, because I don't want to go into that code and Linux, because to teach that again I need to teach you Linux commands and all. Even I'm not perfect in that. So here we need to test the load balancing method of the AWS service. So for that we need two web servers. So that is what we are trying to create here. One, two, okay, that's good. That's good. This side can be visible. That's fine. I know. Let's give some time, because what is happening from outside world, from outside, I'm trying to access that server. I'm trying to, let me refresh it. Same code, when I did my testing, I was able to reach to that particular web page. This page is used to test proper operation of Apache server. Okay, so let's do the one thing. And this is also not something missing there. Public IP. Let me try this server. Mhm. Actually, I'm reaching to the server, but not that page. I want into that server. I want to be this page. I should get this one. This is Nadeem server something. Salman server. So that page should come, but that is not coming. But if you look at here, I am reaching to those servers. Okay, if you are a member of so what will happen if you are able to use those pages, we will do a proper testing. We will shut down one server and we will see the traffic. So let's do one thing. Let's continue tomorrow. Okay.